How in the Karate Kid did he learn karate in, like, a month?
Mr. Miyagi is clear. He's a training.
No, I get that he's training him in the shittiest way possible, by the way.
Yeah,
but
he does chores, basically.
He literally learns to be a tournament-winning karate master in, like, a month.
Yeah, but he didn't win that.
He won with an illegal kick to the head, but he beat the other people.
I suppose, yeah.
This is the worst group of karate students in the world?
Yeah, they're white kids.
So is Daniel. He's the whitest.
He's a little tan.
He's a little tan. He's a little bit... He's like mini Rocky. He's just Italian enough.
La 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 la.
Here we go.
It's the Bible reloaded, tragic explosion, like Jesus and Moses, but it's Hugo and Jake. The Bible is jaded, and most of it taken, so get educated with Hugo and Jake. Pull up a pew and stop what you're doing, it's Bible reloaded time. They call it debated, the theists will hate it, I'm talking to taken, but it's Hugo and Jake. So on with the show then, it's not getting coded, it's the Bible reloaded, with Hugo and Jake, with Hugo and Jake.
Hello everyone, I'm Hugo.
And I'm Jake.
And this is the Bible Reloaded.
It is again!
Atheist Bible study. That's what it is.
It's the thing we do. We are heathen atheists.
Yeah.
And we read the Bible.
This is the last time we're probably going to mention it on the show. T-shirt sale. Half of them are gone. Over half. If you want them, this is like your last
call.
chance.
This is like you got to make a decision, man. You taking the ugly girl home or not? Take the ugly girl home for $15 if you get a TBR T-shirt.
Anyways, last time what happened was David had run away from Saul, so he had left the Israelite region altogether, and now he's living with the Amalekites. However, when they were going out to war somewhere, the Amalekites have now shunned David. So now he's kind of in a weird limbo place, and we're going to find out what happens to him today. Also, Saul's going to die for the first time, and then we'll kind of get different things about that. So today we begin in 1 Samuel chapter 30. David destroys the Amalekites. Spoilers. What if J.K. Rowling named the Harry Potter books like they named chapters in this? It'd be like, Harry Potter 7, Harry's a Horcrux, bitch.
Yep. Harry Potter 3. We're gonna irresponsibly use time travel and not save Dumbledore at the end.
Bummer.
Womp womp.
Harry Potter 4, Alan Rickman is Snape. Surprise. I don't know. McGonagall's pregnant with Hagrid's baby.
Oh, that means Hagrid got it in?
That was difficult.
I assume he's got a short but really, really thick penis.
It's like a tree trunk.
Like a stump.
Like a stump.
A tree stump dick. This went on for a while.
Chapter 30. David destroys the Amalekites. David and his men reach Ziklag on the third day. Now the Amalekites had raided the Negev and Ziklag. They had attacked Ziklag and burned it, and had taken captive the women and everyone else in it, both young and old. They killed none of them, but carried them off as they went on their way.
So they're slaves?
Slavery and forced marriage and stuff. Didn't murder all of them, though, so they're slightly better than the Israelites still.
It's really bad when an upgrade to your normal depravity is we just abducted everybody.
Yeah, so.
That's good, though. I'd like to think one of those pairs just like actually had a really nice life together. She's like, I'm so glad that you raided my village one day. And she's like, yeah, honey, it was great. We're really in love now. We make babies and stuff. We have really good chemistry. Really hit the lottery on that one.
That's like the... Should I even make this joke?
Just make it and I can cut it if it sucks.
It's like the one person who has the fantasies.
Can't do it. Can't do it. I would love to.
I know. I understand.
I would love to, though. That's a you and me joke that I really enjoy, but...
I'd cut that joke. I mean, I get it.
If you were doing a stand-up, though,
yeah,
goddamn. Good joke.
When David and his men reached Ziklag, they found it destroyed by fire and their wives and sons and daughters taken captive.
Wow.
So David and his men wept aloud until they had no strength left to weep.
That is the saddest sentence I've ever read in my life.
That's borderline Shakespearean minus the rhyming and, competent narrative. David's two wives had been captured. Ahinoam of Jezreel and Abigail, the widow of Nabal of Carmel.
No, he has double the loss.
David was greatly distressed because the men were talking of stoning him. Each one was bitter in spirit because of their sons and daughters. Why are they mad at David? What?
This is because he's in charge, I suppose?
I guess, but he had nothing to do with what happened. They were supposed to be going even further away, in fact, but they got sent back to the town because of David. So if it weren't for David, they would have probably no chance of finding them again. At least now, maybe they can get a lead, follow the mystery machine to the clues, whatever Scooby-Doo does, other than get high and bang Velma.
Daphne.
No, I Scooby-Doo was banging the ugly chick.
Scooby-Doo. Shaggy?
No, Scooby-Doo.
Wait. Did you just call Velma the ugly chick?
Velma, yeah.
Velma's the hot one.
Velma's
so hot.
We're not gonna...
No, she's way hotter than Daphne.
Velma is clearly supposed to be the bookish...
I don't care what she's supposed to be, she's the hot one.
Okay, whatever you say, man. I'm not gonna argue with you about how attractive cartoon characters are.
That's so ridiculous.
Besides, we all know Wilma Flintstone wins that fight. David found strength in the Lord his God. That's good. If he gets stoned, I'm sure the strength in the Lord will help him not be bashed in the head with rocks. Then David said to Abiathar the priest, the son of Ahimelech, "Bring me the ephod." I like how they repeat "bring me the ephod" whenever he's about to get real, and it's like a big deal.
They're his CSI Miami shades.
Basically.
Burn, baby, burn.
Abiathar brought it to him, and David inquired of the Lord, "Shall I pursue the raiding party? Will I overtake them?" "Pursue them," he answered. "You will certainly overtake them and succeed in the rescue." I'm pretty sad. I miss the days when the Lord was a main character, not just a cameo that would show up every once in a while.
I know.
I miss you, Morgan. Want you in my life.
He'll come back so hard.
I know. What happened to... What's going on with Donna and Gabriel? We'll never know.
Until December.
What? Verse 9. David and his 600 men with him came to the Bezor Valley, where some stayed behind. 200 of them were too exhausted to cross the valley, but David and the other 400 continued the pursuit. They found an Egyptian in a field and brought him to David. They gave him water to drink and food to eat, part of a cake of pressed figs and 2 cakes of raisins.
That sounds like the most fibrous.
I know,
like he's just shitting his pants.
He's shitting everywhere. It's the desert. It's like a big cat box. It's fine. It's all absorbed. He ate and was revived, for he had not eaten any food or drunk any water for 3 days and 3 nights.
In the desert?
He's the camel of men. David asked him, "Who do you belong to? Where do you come from?"
Well, because I'm brown, I belong to somebody?
Absolutely.
It's pretty accurate, though, to be fair.
He said, "I am an Egyptian, the slave of an Amalekite. My master abandoned me when I became ill 3 days ago."
So he's like the ill camel of men.
Yeah. He somehow survived ill in the desert with no food or water. That's amazing. "We raided the Negev and the Kesherites, some territory belonging to Judah, and the Negev of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag."
You son of a bitch.
David asked him, "Can you lead me down to the raiding party?" He answered, "Swear to me before God that you will not kill me, or hand me over to my master, and I will take you down to them." There's no part where we see him swear to him, though, but...
Let's assume he does.
I don't know, here's Batman.
Swear to me!
He led David down, and there they were, scattered over the countryside, eating, drinking, and reveling because of the great amount of plunder they had taken from the land of the Philistines from Judah. That's what I do. When I pillage, I'm like, yes! Let's drink and be merry, like the Vikings of old.
Of yore.
Yore!
I don't know what yore is.
David fought them from dusk until evening the next day, and none of them got away, except 400 young men who rode off of camels and fled.
Wait, that's not none.
None got away.
400 is far more than none people.
Yeah, that's as many people as you brought.
Not only did they get away, they were able to take 400 camels as well.
So they came out on top, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely.
David recovered everything the Amalekites had taken, including his 2 wives. Nothing was missing, young or old, boy or girl, plunder or anything else they had taken, except for lots of hymens. It's true.
Yeah.
David brought everything back. He took all the flock and herds, and his men drove them ahead of the other livestock, saying, "This is David's plunder." Then David came to the 200 men who had been too exhausted to follow him and were left behind at the Bezor Valley. They came out to meet David and his men with him. As David and his men had approached, he'd asked how they were. But all the evil men and troublemakers among David's followers said, "Because they did not go out with us, we will not share with them the plunder we recovered."
It's not plunder, you're reclaiming it.
Just it's plunder. However, each man may take his wife and children and go.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thought you were going to keep my fucking wife and kids, you creepy piece of shit. David replied, "No, my brothers. You must not do that with what the Lord has given us. He has protected us and delivered into our hands the raiding party that came against us. Who will listen to what you say? The share of a man who stayed with the supplies is to be the same as that who went down into battle. All will share alike." David made this statute and ordered for Israel from this day to do this. So now everyone in the army gets a share of the plunder, basically.
It's good to know that David has legislative powers like that, though.
I know. When David reached Ziklag, he sent some of the plunder to the elders of Judah who were his friends, saying, "Here is a gift for you from the plunder of the Lord's enemies." David sent it to those who were in Bethel, Ramoth, Negev, and Jatir, to those in Aror, Sifmoth, Estermo, and Rakal. Just Estermoa, whatever.
Estermo.
To those in the towns of Jerthamites and the Kenites. To those in Hormah, Borashan, well, you get it. It's a lot of places. He sends it to a lot of places.
Yeah, but specific places.
Specific places that I don't want to pronounce because I can't do it.
You did well.
I'm
proud.
I'm too white.
But it's okay, because now we get, spoiler alerts, Saul takes his life in chapter 31 of 1 Samuel.
Yeah.
Which is also the final chapter in 1 Samuel.
Woo! Gonna get that done today. This chapter has been a fucking trudge, it seems like. It feels like we've been here forever.
We have been here forever. We are 22 minutes into this recording. You guys are probably like 8 minutes into an episode.
I know. This is an edit-heavy episode.
Ooh.
Chapter 31, Saul takes his life. Now the Philistines fought against Israel, the Israelites fled before them, and many fell dead on the Mount of Gilboa. I'm so impressed that the Philistines can keep coming back even though they keep being defeated completely like 3 times before this. The Philistines were in hot pursuit of Saul and his sons, and they killed his sons Jonathan, Abinadab, and Malchishua. So yes, Jonathan dies. Poor David and his lover.
No.
The fighting grew fierce around Saul, and when the archers overtook him, they wounded him critically.
I imagine a glowing red spot, because he's the boss.
Yeah, just right there. You got me in the wrong area, damn. Saul said to his armor-bearer, "Draw your sword and run me through, or these uncircumcised fellows will come and run me through and abuse me."
Ooh, whoa.
What do you mean abuse you? Are they gonna do stuff to your butt? Your dead butt?
They're gonna do butt stuff, man.
Dead butt
Kill
stuff.
me before they do butt stuff.
But his armor-bearer was terrified and would not do it, so Saul took his own sword and fell upon it.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, so in this instance, Saul, fatally wounded by arrows, and then stabs himself to death.
Kill himself. This is a big deal for several reasons, most notably because this is the first of several different depictions of his death. Also, you're not supposed to kill God's anointed, and technically Saul is God's anointed, so Saul did a terrible thing by killing himself. So this is a big deal. This is why the armor bearer is technically afraid to kill Saul, because you're not supposed to.
Yeah. When the armor-bearer saw that Saul was dead, he too fell on his sword and died with him. You think he, kebabbed himself with Saul, so now they're, on the same sword?
So. Yeah.
So Saul and his 3 sons and his armor-bearer and all his men died together on that same day, which, if you remember, Ghost Samuel from a previous episode said that's what was going to happen.
Yeah.
When the Israelites along the valley and those across the Jordan saw that the Israelite army had fled and that Saul and his sons had died, they abandoned their towns and fled, and the Philistines came and occupied them. The next day, when the Philistines came to strip the dead, they found Saul and his 3 sons fallen on Mount Gilboa. They cut off his head and stripped his armor, and they sent messengers throughout the land to the Philistines to proclaim the news in the temple of their idols and among their people. They put the armor in the temple of the Ashtaroths. They fastened his body to the wall of Beth-shan. When the people of Jabesh-Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul, all their valiant men marched through the night to Beth-shan. They took down the bodies of Saul and his sons from the wall of Beth-shan and went to Jabesh, where they burned them. Then they took their bones and buried them under a tamarisk tree at Jabesh, and they fasted 7 days. So that's how Saul died.
Yeah, the first time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is extremely specific in how he dies. He runs himself through with his own sword, basically seppuku, and then he's dismembered, and his body is put up on a wall to display. And that should be how, like, there's no pretense here. That's what happened. It's not one of those gray things where you're like, well, I don't know. Very, very spelled out.
Yeah.
This will be an issue a lot.
Yeah. So this is, I think, the first time we've had an episode that crosses 2 chapters.
Is it?
Yeah. This will be interesting in the playlists. Good luck with that, guys. But for reals, we are starting 2 Samuel now because that is the end of 1 Samuel. So 2 Samuel, chapter 1, David hears of Saul's death.
Now it's important to remember these are 2 separate books.
After the death of Saul, David returned from the striking down of the Amalekites and stayed in Ziklag 2 days. On the 3rd day, a man arrived from Saul's camp with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he came to David, he fell to the ground to pay him honor. "Where have you come from?" David asked him. He answered, "I have escaped from the Israelite camp." "What happened?" David asked. "Tell me." "The man fled from this battle," he said. "Many of them fell and died, and Saul and his son Jonathan are dead." Then David said to the young man who brought him the report, "How do you know that Saul and his son Jonathan are dead?" "I happened to be on Mount Gilboa," the young man said, "and there was Saul, leaning on his spear with the chariots and their drivers in hot pursuit. When he turned around and saw me, he called out to me, and I said, 'What can I do?'"
So now it's a spear, not a sword, and now he's being chased by charioteers instead of the archers and ground soldiers, and there's no armor bearer.
He asked me, "Who are you?" "An Amalekite," I answered. Then he said to me, "Stand here by me and kill me. I'm in the throes of death, but I'm still alive."
I want to be able to say that one day. I'm in the throes of death, but I'm still alive.
You know, I'll help you with that someday.
Sure.
So I stood beside him and killed him, because I knew after he had fallen he could not survive. And I took the crown that was on his head and the band on his arm and have brought them here to my lord.
What?
So now this guy killed Saul, so it's a completely different version of the story that happened about a minute and a half ago.
Now, I have heard different arguments against this. The most popular is that this guy is lying. What does he have to gain by lying? Because as we will see, David, very unhappy that he admitted to killing Saul.
Verse 11. Then David and all his men with him took a hold of the clothes and tore them. They mourned and wept and fasted till evening for Saul and his son Jonathan, and for the army of the Lord and for all the nation of Israel, because they had fallen by the sword. David said to the young man who brought him the report, "Where are you from?" "I'm the son of a foreigner, an Amalekite," he answered. He also followed with, "I just told you that. Pay attention, David. Come on, man." David answered him, "Why weren't you afraid to lift your hand to destroy the Lord's anointed?" Then David called one of his men and said, "Go, strike him down," for he struck him down and he died. For David had said to him, "Your blood be on your own head. Your own mouth testified against you when you said, 'I killed the Lord's anointed.'" So Saul, in mid-battle, was wounded and dying, and he said to this guy, "I'm in pain, please kill me."
Yeah.
This guy serves his request, and now David is killing this guy for putting Saul out of his misery. David's kind of a dick.
A lot.
Like a lot dickish. Like he's a dick boner. He's a dick boner.
He's such a dick boner.
David took up this lament concerning Saul and his son Jonathan, and he ordered that the people of Judah be taught this lament of how it is written in the book of Jashar. Then there's a poem. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you, just the end part, because I'm not Maya Angelou, nor is Maya Angelou anymore. She has died. So I'm going to skip over to verse 25. "How the mighty have fallen in battle, Jonathan lies slain on your heights. I grieve for you, Jonathan, my brother. You were very dear to me. Your love for me was wonderful, more wonderful than that of a woman." So David's saying that his love for Jonathan was more than that for a woman. I know we've made gay jokes and stuff before, but seriously, some biblical scholars do say, "Hey, was there something going on?" I mean, I don't
Maybe.
necessarily think that's true, but
Me either.
if there is evidence for it, this is it. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I still think it's more of a brotherly bromance type situation, but
Yeah.
How the mighty have fallen, the weapons of war have perished. And that's the end of that story.
Woo!
Next time we'll get into David being anointed king of Judah, and then later being anointed king of all of Israel, and then he'll kill so many more people, because that's what the Bible likes in a protagonist, a bloodthirsty monster. So thanks everyone for watching. If you want, you can follow us on Twitter at Bible Reloaded.
Or you can follow Hugo at Hugo Reloaded.
We said at the beginning, I believe, but you're coming up on the deadline of the t-shirts. If you want one, definitely get one. If not, I totally understand, but they're there.
A lot of people were upset that they missed it last time.
Yeah, I'm just...
And so we're trying to push it because a lot of people... I mean, we already broke the limit to, like, where we're... I mean, it's not that big a deal. Like, many people bitched last time. They're like, we missed it. You didn't tell us about it enough because we didn't want to shove it down your throats. Well, this is us shoving it down your throats because you bitched at us. So if it doesn't work, I can't help you. I can't.
So there you go.
I mean, buy extra so you can give them to your whiny fucking friends.
Yep. You can donate to our Patreon. We're getting headway to the second goal, too, which is the Quran Reloaded. So if you want to donate to that and help us get there, you can do that. I think that's it, though. So thanks, everyone, for watching.
Mm-hmm. I love you each dearly.
I love all of you. Not just physically, but I care about you and your soul in a... not literal sense, but you get
like
what
your
I'm saying.
personality. You have a nice.
I want
one of you.
I want to wrap myself in your
love,
in your personality, in your neck beards, and
probably,
feel their warmth.
Probably a few fedoras.
Probably at least a couple. Ugh. Anyways, thanks everyone for watching. Until next time, I'm Hugo,
and I am Jake,
and this has been the Bible Reloaded. Next week, we decide that if a Muppet Babies orgy would be a real orgy or just a saucy puppet show.